Hey beading friends, it's Kristen Fagan here on the Soft Flex Company Facebook page. Hello. I'm just pulling you guys up on my computer so I can see your comments. Let's get this going. Hope everyone is doing fantastic today. Hi Teresa. Hello, hello. So I'm popping in today for a quick jewelry demonstration. Hi, Mary. And to let you guys know about our newest sale, we've got a sale on all of our jewelry making findings and beading components, including crimps and crimp covers. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Lydia. So includes crimps and crimp covers on sale, 20% off. And then we're also including everything in closeout, and we're including our components in outlet. So closeouts, as you guys may or may not know, are 30% off, and so you'll get an extra 20% off that, making it about a 45% discount. Outlet products are kind of one-offs or things that may be a little bit just a little bit off, so we put them in outlet at a really discounted rate, and we're allowing 20% off that as well. And hi Robin, hi Softlex, hi Wiley. Who else is on here? Barbara, Mary and Arlene, Thomas. Good to see you guys. So yes, I wanted to let you know about our Smokin' 20% off all beading components and crimp sale. And then I also wanted to show you some of our newest components that we've got online. And I've got a little, I've actually got 2 demonstrations that are possible we might do if we have time for it. So let's get busy. For those of you that don't know me, I am Kristen Fagan. I am one of the graphic designers here and one of the jewelry designers here at Soft Flex Company. I've been with the company for about 16 years, and I have a beading tutorial series over on the Soft Flex Company YouTube page called Free Spirit Beading. You can find me there on Mondays at noon Pacific time. I'm there live doing a weekly beading tutorial. So so you can catch me over there on Mondays. Couple of things I wanted to make sure I tell you about. The Tucson Sunset Design Kits, we only have 10 left, so really close to being sold out on those. So if you've been thinking about it or on the fence about it, you know, there's only 10 left. The colors are fantastic. You guys are gonna love it. They're really luscious, really pretty, popular colors. So I'm pretty excited to see about that. We'll have a mystery guest here on the Soft Flex Facebook page next Wednesday, July 31st at 1 p.m. Pacific time, to open up that mystery design package and design with you guys on the fly. So that's always a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to our guest this month and seeing what you guys create for the Tucson Sunset Design Kit. And some new products we have online are the Lazy Daisy tools and draw plate, which I'll be doing a demonstration with some knitting that I did on the Lazy Daisy tool today. And then we've got a multi-crimp package that is all the different colors in the 2mm by 2mm crimp size. That is 10% off just because it's a nice little bulk package, and then you'll get 20% off during the sale here this week. So pretty excited. Let's see if we got any. Lydia is asking if we got any of that rain, Thomas. We did here in Mesa. I didn't get any rain yesterday, but we did get rain on Monday, and that was glorious. Beverly is asking, can you do another tutorial on the Viking knit to show how to attach the clasp and finish the ends? Yes, Beverly, I will. I will probably do that over on my Free Spirit Beading series. So if you want to catch me on Monday, I will be working with the Viking knit pieces that we made this week, and we're gonna finish it off into a design on Monday. Okay, so catch me over there, and if you miss me live at noon on Mondays Pacific time, you can always watch the replay. The replays are always available on YouTube to catch me there. Awesome. And I do think, actually, Beverly, if you wanted to check out James's series, Conversations in Wire, that playlist on YouTube, he has done a bracelet already with the smaller Lazy Daisy tool, and I think he shows how to finish that one off. So you may be able to go check that out even before Monday. Okay, cool. Last thing we have is new, that is our square wire we have online. So wanted to let you guys know about that. Let's turn this down to the beading table, and I've got all sorts of components here to show you guys. So let's see what this looks like. I'll just tape this message here so you guys know about the sale. And the sale does not include any other discounts except for closeout and outlet. So the rest of the items on your order would need to be retail prices to get that 20% off. Let's see what we got going on. So let me start with these guys. So these are some of the jump rings we added to the outlet sale. So if you go to our website and go to shop and click on components and crimps, there is an outlet section, outlet subcategory in there, and that's where you'll find all of these jump rings. They're in outlet because they're kind of random in sizes. Some of them are a little thicker, some of them are a little thinner, but still going to be wonderful to play with. And I believe that they are all closed, or the majority of them are closed jump rings. So we've got them in this silver color. Lydia, I'm glad you like them. I'm actually going to demonstrate with these a little bit today. We've got them in gold color, and then we also have a copper and an antique copper. So 4 different colors in there for the jump rings. And then we've got, if you guys are getting low on clasps, we have, your basic lobster clasps. These were really nice quality lobster clasps, a lot better than the ones that you'll find if you just go to like your local hobby store. And Barbara saying she really likes the jump rings, and Robin too. Good, very pretty. The 2 sizes I'm holding here, this is a 15 millimeter size lobster claw clasp, and this one is a 12 millimeter. We also have a 9.5 millimeter, I think just left in the gold. But in the other 2 sizes, we've got silver plated, we've got gold, we also have a gunmetal and a copper color in there as well. So if you're getting low on clasps, these are always great to have on hand. Pick up some of those while they're on sale. And then, of course, ear wires are another staple. This is what we consider our simple. This is called a simple ear wire, and I think we have these in gold and in silver. I'm sorry, gold and copper, because we're looking at the copper right here. I'm going to use this in one of the demonstrations today too. So really pretty. It's 20 gauge, a 20 gauge ear wire. And then we also have these, which are 20, I think these are 22. Yeah, these are 22 gauge, and these are silver plated. I have some open already. So let me take one of those out. We've got these in a multiple colors. We've got them in silver filled as well as silver plated. And we've also got them in gunmetal, in copper, and antique brass. So you can get ear wires in all the different metal colors. We're trying hard to get all of the components to match so that if you're using something in particular, you can find all of the other goodies to match that. And speaking about matching colors, I should talk a little bit about our crimps. So Soft Flex crimp tubes, if you guys haven't used Soft Flex crimp tubes, they are amazing. They're really super high quality. Our most common size is the 2x2, which is what I've got mostly here. And we've got them, these are the blackened, and what they are is they are a sterling silver, and that has been oxidized to black. So these would work really well with any of your gunmetal type findings. You can use those. That's our newest color, so we're very excited to have a new color. And then of course we've got silver filled, which is like the most popular. So Soft Flex crimp tubes are double the wall thickness of most on the market, and they are seamless, so you don't have to worry about anything popping open. This is our gold filled. And lastly is our copper color. And Soft Flex is reminding us that we have a new blog today all about components and findings. Very educational if you are a beginner. We also have a wonderful video that Sarah did explaining all of the beading components and findings and what they do. So if you are a beginner, it's a great blog to check out and a great video to watch. So that's 2x2, but we do have larger crimps. So when you're working with larger, these are our 3x3 millimeter crimp tubes. We also have teeny tiny 1x1s. So if you're using them to hold space in like an illusion design, those are perfect. And then we've got crimp covers. And let's see here. I actually have a new. And then we've got crimp covers in 3 millimeter and 4 millimeter in a multiple of metals too. All right, so that covers crimps. Now let's talk about some of these awesome new findings that we've got here. So if you guys have been watching my Free Spirit beading videos, you've probably seen me use these cones quite a bit. So these are our new hammered cones. They're from TierraCast. They are beautifully made. They have a nice weight to them. Gorgeous colors. We've got a silver, a gold, a blackened, and an antique brass. And I wanted to show you guys some things that we've made with them recently. So one of the recent things we made was this necklace. This was during the Shades of Coral design challenge. If you want colored ear wires, you can make your own with the colored craft wire. Yeah, totally, Robin. I've done that too, especially if I want like a certain shape or something that I made it. I've usually used 20 gauge to make my ear wires. All of the Soft Flex craft wire is hypoallergenic with the exception of the bare copper. The bare copper is the only one that doesn't have a coating on it, so that one is not hypoallergenic, but all the other colors are. So as you can see here, just use these cones at the end of this necklace As I made my bead smaller and smaller, just a little extra design element there. And that's one way you can use cones. I have been asking for cones for so long, so I've been using them quite a bit. That was the antique brass color, by the way. This is another design we did on Free Spirit Beading where we used cones to make little tassel earrings. And in this one, I used the gunmetal cone, and then I used those blackened crimps, and then our gunmetal ear wires, so it has a nice seamless look. And then I also used at the bottom, I used the 2mm blackened crimps. And to be able to use a 2mm crimp with the magical crimping pliers, I just made a little loop with my beading wire, so you see it kind of loops at the bottom. If you didn't want to loop like that, you can use our 1x1mm crimps with the micro crimping pliers instead to make little ends here. So that's another way you can use cones to make these little tassel earrings, or even just make a tassel coming down from a necklace. And then lastly, I've been using cones with my knitted projects we've been working on over at Free Spirit Beading on YouTube. So this is the copper color, and it also uses our new toggle clasps. I think these are called the Maker's clasps, and you'll find them in the class section. And then this was knitted with the Soft Flex craft wire and a knitting spool. And so that is how you would use cones there. I've got that one, the copper. We also did this knitted project with the knitting spool and the Pro Econoflex gold wire. And this is more of a beading wire. And this has the gold cones and the gold Maker's clasp. They all both have this really nice hammered look. And so I'll show you a little close-up of those clasps. So like I said, I believe these are called the Maker's clasp. They are shiny on one side and hammered on the other side, making it for a really pretty option. I love the hammered side. And they come in copper, gold, silver, and antique brass colors. Whoop. And then lastly, we have two more new products, and then we'll get going on our project. We have these larger end caps. So these are called capital cord end caps, and we've got them in, I believe it to be 4 colors. Oh, 5 colors. James, we are just going through our components, showing some new things and some designs that we made with them. So these are the capital cord end caps. They come in like a antique copper, an antiqued, I think this is a gold, but it's got a little antique. You can kind of get away with that as a antique brass. Silver. This one's called tin. And this one is just a gold plated. And some projects that we've done with these guys, some examples are this knitted project. This one was done with the Econoflex green, and it was done on a knitting spool. And this one I used that sort of antique gold color. And the reason we use these instead of the other cones is that this particular weave is a lot larger. You do need some of these for your Viking knit pieces. Have you been working on some fun Viking knit for tomorrow's video, James? Is that a little teaser for us? And then again with this knitting spool piece, this was done on the 5-pin, so it made a really large knitted piece, and this was done with the 2 colors. I showed this one on Free Spirit Beading on YouTube a couple weeks ago, so you can see how to knit 2 colors there, and then just added these capital cord end caps here, and then continued to bead. James says yes, he's been playing with the new Lazy Daisy tools. Oh, I should point out that this one uses our little Anna clasps. So you'll see the Anna clasps are quite a bit smaller than the Maker's clasp. So if you want a little itty bitty clasp, that would be your Anna toggle right there. And this one is the Maker's clasp. Yay, James, I'm so excited to see your Viking knit pieces you've been working on. So James has a video tomorrow. He will be premiering it on YouTube. These are those little Anna toggle clasps I was just talking about. And they come in silver, antique silver, copper, and gold. Oh, they also come in the gunmetal color here too. So James will be premiering it at 2 p.m. on YouTube. And what that means is he is going to be there at 2 p.m. to chat with you guys. So mark your calendars and make sure to join him. You'll be watching the video along with James, and then he can chat and answer questions while the video is running. So really cool. We had a lot of people there last time. It's really a technique video, not a project video. Yeah, that's how my video was on Monday. Sometimes it's hard to do both the technique and a full project all in one. So this will be a technique video. Oh, one more thing to show you, and then we'll get started on this project. So this is the last piece I wanted to show you because this one uses our crystal square dells. So I just wanted to give you guys a little close-up of what they look like. So this is, I don't remember what color this was, maybe like red cyan possibly. But these little square spacer beads on either end of this big black bead here are our crystal square dells, and they just add so much elegance, such a pretty spacer. We have them currently on closeout, so you can find them in components and crimp section. You can also find them in the closeout section. Once they're gone, they're gone, and we've got them in ruby. Thanks, James. Yeah, I couldn't remember which color, but ruby makes sense. So these are the ones that have a gold plated finish, but we also have some with silver plated finish, and we also have some that have a blackened, like a gunmetal finish around the outside. So they're currently in closeout. They have matching toggles. So this is a matching 3-strand toggle that I used with this design with the ruby crystals in there too. So really nice way to, and the toggles even have a little ruby on each end of the toggle there to give some extra sparkle. Really, really pretty. And we have quite a few left in there. They're 30% off, and then you'll get an extra 20% off this week with the sale. So really, really cool product. Makes a nice pop of sparkle and shine in a stringing project. And then, okay. All right, so this is what, let me move this a little bit out of camera so it doesn't pick that up. So this is an earring that I was working on after our video on Monday. So on Monday, we learned the technique on how to make this Viking knit 6-loop on the 1/2 inch Lazy Daisy tool. So this is our new Lazy Daisy tool. We have it in 2 sizes. I used for this one the 1/2 inch size, which has 12 loops on it, but I only used 6 out of the 12. I did every other loop. And that gave us this knitted piece here. So if you want to learn how to do that part, go to our YouTube channel and check out the knitting section or the Free Spirit beading section, or it's probably right up there in like the newest video uploads because it just was live on Monday. So I was trying to figure out, well, how do I mean, these are nice big hoops, and I love big fun hoops. You can obviously make them smaller, but I love really big hoops. So I'm going to show you guys with the second one how I made it. I'm actually going to cut this out so we can start it together. So here's the piece after it comes off the Lazy Daisy tool and I pull it through the draw plate. I use the new Lazy Daisy draw plate to pull it through to get my wire to condense and be nice and even, just like this. And I used craft wire 26 gauge in our bare copper color. So now to add, I'm going to use some 22 gauge bare copper to string into the middle of our section here just to give it some stability, and then connect it to our jump ring. So first thing I'm gonna do, I wasn't thinking of patining them, James, but maybe the first thing I'm gonna do is, while my wire is on the spool, I'm just gonna use my nylon jaw pliers. So you can find these at softflexcompany.com, and they are magic. I just like to do this while it's still on the spool so it makes it easy and it doesn't slip out of my hands. I'm just gonna straighten that wire and cut myself a nice piece about yay big. Hopefully that was big enough. So James, if I was to patina them, would I use like liver of sulfur? Is that what you used? I'm actually going to cut myself a little bit longer of a piece. I don't want to run out of wire, especially while I'm on a video. So I cut myself a fresh, longer piece. I know you did a video on how to do that, how to add liver of sulfur to your wire to get a nice patina. All right, so I'm just going to use my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to bend my wire at an angle just like that. Hi, Susanna. Welcome. And then I'm going to place my round nose pliers right up against the edge of my wire. And I'm just going to use my finger to twist the wire around the top, just like that. And then I'm going to use my wrist to continue to turn the pliers till my loop is made. James says, yes, liver of sulfur is the best. Yeah, I've never worked with it. So now I'm just going to grab my chain nose plier right at the little, where the loop bends right here, and hold it in the right way. It just kind of wants to flop around, and just twist it up so that my loop is straight. Lastly, I'm going to hold on to that loop with my chain nose pliers, and then I'm going to grab a second pair of pliers and I'm just going to twist around I'm not going to twist a lot because I don't want it to be seen at the top. So I'm just going to go around like 1.5 times. And then I'm going to trim this wire. Soft Flex is saying the liver of sulfur link is above. I thought it would preview with the title, but alas, it did not. Sometimes it does after the live video is over. I don't know why, but sometimes I think it does after the video is done. And now I'm just tucking in that little end piece of wire, and I've made myself a little eye pin. So I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to feed it through my knitted cage in the center. You can decide to use a different wire color if you want to see the contrast of the wire possibly going through the middle. I chose to just stick with the same color for this one so that it just disappears and you really don't see it at all. Okay, so I'm going to push it all the way down until my loop is just right at the knit on this side, and then I'm going to make a little loop on my other side. So I'm going to do the same thing. You want your loops to be going in the same direction too, so just be mindful of that. So I'm going to grab here and I'm going to make my bend. Then I'm going to grab a hold of my wire, and I had positioned my wire kind of in the center, so I just want to make sure I'm putting my wire in the same place. I'm going to wrap it around the top with my finger, and then I'm going to twist my tool till it comes around that way. Then I'm going to hold on to it with my chain nose pliers, and you can either use your fingers or use another plier to create that second twist just to give it a little more security. Cut off your tail, and then using your chain nose pliers, just go back in and tighten, just tuck in that loop. So now I have a stronger piece of wire in the center that'll help me just keep my shape that I want to make. And I'm just going to bend this into my hoop shape. Right now you'll see both of my little end pieces are facing the same way. Now I'm going to pick up my jump ring. You could use a closed jump ring and then wrap it around, but I have an open jump ring right now, so I'm just going to open my jump ring and I'm going to slide my wire on both ends, and then using 2 chain nose pliers I will grab a hold of that jump ring and close it, trying to get it as tight as possible, wiggling it back and forth. And I'm just going to give my wire a little squeeze over here to get it to kind of form to that inner piece. You don't see it popping up. There we go. And then you just open up your ear wire and attach your jump ring. And you could leave it here like this. This is how I started, and I was thinking of leaving it just plain. So that is always an option. Or you can add a bead down the center like I did here. So to do that part, So to do that part, I will cut another piece of your 22 gauge craft wire in bare copper, and I used a little teeny tiny jump ring. And then to do this one, I'm gonna do very similar to what I did on the first eye pin loop. I'm just gonna make myself a loop. So I'm gonna tilt my wire down. I'm gonna grab a hold of it with my round nose pliers, just about the center, and I'm gonna wrap the wire around the top, and then I'm gonna twist my wrist to go around the bottom. And then I just grab a hold of it down here to kind of pop it back in place. I'm gonna hold the loop with one of my chain nose pliers, and I'm gonna wrap around with my other chain nose plier. And I'll probably wrap around like 3 times here. Trim off your wire. I always make sure to point my wire that I'm cutting down so that the piece flies onto my beading table and not up at me. Then I'm gonna slide on this bead. If you're wondering where these beads came from, you can find them in our Wonderlust bead mix, which is pretty low in stock. I'm not sure exactly how many we have left, but you'll see that there's 2 of them in here, along with a lot of other fun beads. Safety tips, yeah. As I was doing it, I said, oh, I should probably mention this because you don't want it to fly up at your face or somebody next to you's face. So after I have my loop, I'm just going to straighten out my loop a little bit. I have my loop in the front here, and I strung on my bead, and now I'm just going to take my wire up and around, just like that, and just sort of make a little wrap. You could also use a head pin for something like this, but when you're working with different colors of craft wire, if you want to keep all your craft wire the same color, this is a neat technique to not have to have a head pin. And now I just have a little wrap coming up from the bottom. We only have 5 left of the Wonderlust mini mixes left. Yeah, I knew we were getting close. I was gonna say 6, so I'm glad you checked for me. So just 5 of those left. Now I'm gonna open up my little itty bitty jump ring, and I'll probably attach it here first to the larger jump ring. See if I opened it enough. Okay, there we go. So I'm attaching it to the jump ring, and then I can add my bead, grab a hold of it with one of my chain nose pliers, grab a hold of it with my other chain nose pliers, and close that jump ring. And now you've got a pretty awesome set of hoops. The other thing to note is when I put my bead on, I wanted the little wrap at the top showing. So I made sure that that was the front for my ear wire. So do you guys want to stick around for one more demonstration? I had one little other demonstration I was going to show you. Always open, James is giving us a tip. That's true. Always open your jump rings like I just did. I'll show you a quick little Never open it out, never pull them out. I have a whole banshee of jump rings here. So I'll give you a quick little jump ring. This one's already open. So you'll see that one's twisted to the side, and I'm going to twist it back. So if you have a jump ring that's closed like this, you want to grab a hold of it in one hand with one plier, grab a hold of it on the other side of the opening with the other plier, and you want to twist your wrists in the opposite direction. So my right hand is going forward, my left hand is coming back, and that opens up your jump ring in the correct way. And then to close it, you're going to bring your right hand back, your left hand forward. And the reason for that is it keeps your jump ring in a nice circular shape. If you were to pull it out, it would be really difficult to get it back into a circular shape. You may even bust your jump ring and break it. So that is how you open a jump ring. One more, says Lydia and Robin. Okay, so this was actually something, he makes it so that you don't change the size or the shape of the ring. There you go. Yeah, because if you open it and then you have to kind of close it, you'll probably change the size as well. Hi Pam, yeah, I'm here today. We just finished working on these, doing a little demonstration on these hoops based off of the knitting that we did on Monday in the Free Spirit Beading video. So you can just rewind a little bit if you want to see how I finish these off. But I was going to show one more little tip. So when I opened up the Shades of Coral kit, we had these really pretty little super duos in there, and I had in my head that I wanted to show you guys how to make a little chain with the super duos, and I just couldn't get my brain around it on the live video to do it. So I wanted to pop in here for those of you that bought the Shades of Coral design kit and you got these really cool little super duo beads in there, and if you haven't used them in any way, I was hoping to spark your imagination by showing you this little chain. And not only am I using the super duos, I am using these outlet jump rings. So you can pick these guys up on outlet. They're like heavily discounted, and then you'll get 20% off this week with our current sale. No coupon needed. You just add the item to your cart and you'll see the discount. So I'll take a couple of these out. These are closed jump rings, which works really nicely for this technique because then you don't have to worry about the wire, the Soft Flex beading wire popping out of the jump ring. So because the jump rings are gold and our super duo is kind of like a gold transparent color, I picked up the Dark Blue Lapis Soft Flex Beading Wire to play with today. And I'm sure I'm part because of Nile is Kit just using it. It's one of my favorite colors. So this is Soft Flex Beading Wire. This is the medium diameter, and this is the Dark Blue Lapis color, which is kind of like, I don't know how to explain this color. It's just so pretty. So I'm going to show you guys how just using the super duos, these are crimp beads with the magical crimping pliers and the jump rings, you can make your own chain. I'm going to cut a small piece of Soft Flex wire. This would be a fun project to do with your scraps. I was even thinking it might be neat to use a bunch of different color wires that match together on these links. For those of you that like to be a little extra colorful. And I'll take out some crimps. and a couple of these Super Duos. We don't sell Super Duos. If you got the Shades of Coral design kit last month, you would have a little baggie of these in your design kit. But if you did not and you're curious about Super Duos, you can go check out our friends at fusionbeads.com. That is where Sarah and I got our seed beads and Super Duo beads from when we wrote the book Seed Bead Revolution. So I'm just going to string my Soft Flex wire onto one of the holes in the Super Duo bead. I'm not going to connect to this right now because I'm just going to show you guys how you'd start it when you're not connecting it. Excuse me. You're going to slide on a 2mm by 2mm crimp tube onto one side. Then you're going to make a loop, so you'll take the other end up through that crimp tube to make a loop. I just want to check my other loops because I want to get it similar. Okay. And now you'll take, so when you're doing that, you just want to make sure you've got one short wire and one longer wire so that you can work with the longer wire. So then you'll slide on your jump ring onto the longer wire, and you're going to go back down, making like a little bow tie. And you can use a pair of chain nose pliers to grab a hold of that wire to pull it down in your crimp. And you can even do that with both ends to make sure that you're getting your loops to be similar in size before you crimp. So once you're happy with your loops, you've got your Super Duo on one end, you've got your jump ring on the other end, you're going to place your crimp inside of your crimping pliers. I'm using the Magical Crimping Pliers, which has one little notch on the center. You want to center that crimp right in the middle, give it a good squeeze, and it will pinch the four corners just like that. Turn it 90 degrees, place that crimp back in the center, squeeze it again, and then I'm just going to rotate and squeeze a few times. And trim off your Soft Flex wire tails. Make sure not to cut your wire loop, and just cut the tail with your flush cutters. I'm using the Soft Flex Professional Flush Cutters. And now you've got one connection. So to make another connection, you can go through the other half of your Super Duo bead. Pick up 2mm, 2 by 2mm crimp tube. I'm using the gold filled, and then take the other wire tail back up through it, just like we did the first time, creating our loop. And I just eyeball the loop to make sure that they are similar. Now I've got the longer wire here. I can slide down my next jump ring and make that bow tie. You can use a chain nose plier again. My hands are a little slippery today. So grabbing the tail with the chain nose plier, I just pull the wire down to make that loop smaller. And then I could pull the other wire tail up to make the loop smaller on the other way. When I'm happy with that, go ahead and crimp down your crimp tube again. And now you've got the second part of your connector. Trim off your tails. Sometimes this happens when your wire ends up going through your loop. Before you want to trim it, you want to pull it out of that loop because it'll make it easier to trim it closer to the crimp if you pull that out. Then you could trim that off, and now you've got another piece of your chain. You can keep going. We'll do one more and I'll connect those. So to connect them, I'm just going to string onto these jump ring first. Do my crimp tube, make my first loop just like I did before. A little connector there. And then I'll add in another super duo going down one side of the super duo, one hole. For those of you that don't know what super duos are, they are 2-hole beads. So I'm sorry if I didn't say that in the beginning. They're little 2-hole beads. And when you're working with soft flex wire, you can get 3 strands of medium down that crimp tube. Sometimes that third strand's a little bit snug, but it does fit. And then you crimp. Trim again, and I will stop there. But see how you can keep going and make your own chain? This idea is based off of Sarah's design in Seed Bead Revolution. It's one of my favorites. Seed Bead Revolution is a book Sarah Ayler and I wrote together. We co-authored. So this was her necklace that is in the book. And you can see how she just keeps with that technique all the way up to create your own chain. Now in my sample, I did leave the wire loops a lot bigger. Since the wire was where you were getting the color from in the sample I'm working on, I wanted to make them a little larger and make the wire stand out. And then in Sarah's sample here, she used a white wire color that blends in with her findings and her jump rings, and she actually made it a lot tighter. As you can see, her loops are much tighter with that super duo, pink super duo in the center. So that is your discretion, how big or small you want to make your loops when you're doing your connection. All right, you guys, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed our 2 demonstrations. I'm going to flip you guys back up. Awesome. So I'll show you these hoops before on my ears here, so you can see that they're nice. They're a nice size. They're going to be a lot of fun to wear. And then here is the full necklace with the Super Duo technique that we just did together. Again, you can find this in Seed Bead Revolution. Soft Flex did sell our book, but it's actually sold out at softflexcompany.com, but you can find it on Amazon if you are interested in checking that book out. So you can find us over there. Let me let you guys know what's coming up on videos. Hope you had fun with those 2 demonstrations today. And don't forget that we just started today our new sale. It goes from today until Tuesday, July 30th. You can get 20% off all of our beading and jewelry making components and findings, including crimps and crimp covers, also including closeout section components and outlet components. So all the jump rings I shared today would be outlet items that are included in the sale. So we have tomorrow, July 25th, we've got James's YouTube series, Conversations in Wire, that premieres at 2 p.m. We'll be posting his video, and then James will be there live to chat with you guys in the chat part. So that's always a lot of fun. And then I will be on Free Spirit Beading episode on YouTube Monday at noon, and I think I'll be finishing off a Lazy Daisy bracelet. We did the technique on Monday this week, and so I'm going to take that technique and we'll finish off how to add the clasp and cones and beads or anything else we want to add to it at the end. And on July 31st, right here on Facebook, will be our Tucson Sunset Design Challenge with a mystery guest host at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So be sure to tune in for that. That's always a lot of fun. We've got about 10 kits left as of the start of this video. If you order it this week, you should still get it in time before the reveal on next Wednesday. So, all right, see you guys on Monday. Have an awesome week, and just keep beading. Have a good time, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.